Hello YouTube, I am Shaggy, I am Philalitea, and I have decided that I want to hang out outside the library and talk to you today. So God only knows what this sound is going to be like, but you get to see my big dumb face if I can get my backpack to sink down just a little bit. And you can pretend that you're only about 4 feet tall or 5 feet tall. Very short. You're very short, but you're sitting beside me on a bench and assuming that my microphone is worth a damn and that it's actually going to pick up my headphone like it's supposed to, or like I've told it I want it to. I'm gonna do my homeless vlog out here today. How's that sound? And you get to look at these trees and the sun right behind that cloud, and you get to watch it slowly sink as I talk to the future. Starting to get shaggy again. That's only going to get worse. I have no intention of shaving through the winter. I don't have much to say about being homeless. I made a new friend today, woman, no longer homeless, recently inherited a home. That seems to be the move around here is that people just wait for their parents to die rather than finding any amount of success for themselves in their young adult life. And that was normal until the 1950s. That was normal. People didn't live as long, so you didn't have to wait as long. And so you could count on having, not a nest egg, but you could count on having help. You could count on something. You could count on something from your parents. That's no longer the case. And that's okay. It's not okay, but it has to be okay, because that's just where we're at. Parents live longer, and they were told to enjoy accumulating stuff rather than to enjoy helping their children have estates of their own, have something of their own that belongs to them. And I've been thinking about how free Wi-Fi really is in places like Panera or McDonald's, Burger King, wherever. I hung out in the Dunkin' Donuts the other day. How free the Wi-Fi really is. Is it the Wi-Fi that's free, but the electricity and the bathroom that are being paid for? I'm not sure. Nobody's giving me shit though. I think because I'm less rude than the other people who use the Wi-Fi. I think I'm not being given shit for using the Wi-Fi and obviously being homeless. Also, I don't smell bad. But I'm not rude and loud. Mostly I try to remain as quiet and invisible as possible, and as soon as the dining room starts to get full or noisy, or I notice people looking at me, I try to leave. Today I wrote for the first time in a month today. I didn't have to do the way I was, but since the last time I became homeless, what I did last time I became homeless, really homeless, not I'm about to be homeless, and so I have to make. I've lost my warm hat. Sorry, it's just chilly enough out here that sort of thing matters. Okay, that was almost very bad. And that's kind of today's theme. Sorry about that. My last video was ruined because somehow I managed to take it upside down and I can't edit these. So I'm going to try to talk about what I talked about in my last video. which thematically was the difference, the material difference, and fuck you, got mine, and I'm sorry, get your own. But the theme today, really, as far as my homelessness vlog goes, as far as being homeless, as far as just me catching up with what's going on with me, because I know you're asking. I know it's the first thing on your mind every day is, well, what's up with V? How's Shaggy doing? And the answer is Shaggy's great, but Shaggy's been making a lot of mistakes. Shaggy made a lot of mistakes today. He forgot his belt. He's wearing the wrong socks. Forgot his scarves. But it's okay. It's okay. I tried to flirt with a girl yesterday. And I think I did make a fool of myself, but I think I embarrassed her in a particularly, in a kind of way that a normal dude wouldn't notice he had, but I see too much, and that's why I don't talk to people. That's why I keep to myself, for the most part, in real life. I was telling you, like, the girls who come in and out of the Christ Kitchen who are kind of cute and who clearly have a curiosity about me and clearly want my approval. I get involved. I get invested. So I'm trying to do that. I'm also trying to find a middle ground where I don't have to do that. I don't know. You're just really not supposed to practice. You're not supposed to practice interhuman relationships. You just jump in and do it. I don't know. So I've been thinking about that. That messed me up. And then, Sundays are hard anyway. I think that's what it was. I think it was just it's a Sunday. Sundays are the most boring day of my week. Everything opens later and closes earlier, so I get into these crunch time situations on Sunday where I want to sleep in later and start the day later, and I did. And Sunday was a great day. It was nice. I spent too much money, but I spent that money in an effort to try to flirt with her, to try to be nice to her, to try to just give her a nice day. So the money wasn't on her, but I talked to her. I took an extra opportunity to go through and get a Mountain Dew so that I could at least talk to her again. And then I got nervous because there were people behind me and she was making mistakes because she wanted to talk to me. And so that just seemed like the most natural thing in the world. I worked a gas station I've worked either retail or fast food since 2005, and dudes behave like that all the time. Dudes will wait outside where a girl works because she told him that she's getting off in a half an hour just to tell her goodbye. Like, hey, have a good day. I tried that, and of course, I shouldn't have. Not with her. I should have known better, but there's always the non-zero chance that I don't know better, that I don't see what I see, and that I'm wrong. I think we all go through that. I think that's why even as this channel, even as I'm growing, right, as a performer, I noticed that showing you guys my spot, showing you where I live, and being enthusiastic about how much I like it, and I love it. I love this spot at the library. Look how beautiful these trees are. Just how much I enjoy being homeless. It got me 4 new follows, which is a lot in a day for me. And I had a little bit of a panic attack. But I thought about the strangest thing, actually. I thought about 2 people I don't like in a productive conversation that 2 people that I don't like had, and how I could learn from it, and how I could not emulate them, but how I could learn. How I could take, what lesson did they learn? And it was the conversation between the British CNN guy. He might not even be on CNN anymore. And they were talking about how he kind of lost his mind circa 2009. He started ranting and raving on the air and broke down in tears and was just really upset about gun violence in the United States. And then he was talking about how he felt this pressure to do that again and to make that his personality, even though that had never been his personality up to then. It was the most viewed thing he'd ever made. It got the best ratings. It got the most cultural commentary. The most people saw it. The most people reacted to it. He was talked about effectively for the first time in his career, basically. I mean, he'd been on national television, but he became a big deal. And so he kept doing that, taking everything to 11, 12, 13, as far as he could dial it up, and he became reviled for it. It became fake. It became manufactured, and people could tell that he was manufacturing it. And everything, all the goodwill that he got by being honest and being true to himself and how he felt and what he believed, all that goodwill was undermined by trying to manufacture passion. And so I'm not going to change what I'm doing. I've spent the last 2 days thinking maybe I needed to take some time. I've given myself some time, and maybe I've given myself basically 2 weeks of material. And I've been thinking maybe give yourself some time, let people catch up to you a little bit, but I don't know that you need to catch up with me. I think that what I realized is that I don't have to always be joyous. Just because I love my spot, not all of my work has to be about loving my spot. And I don't think you want that, to be honest. But I really don't know what you want. I don't know what you want from someone like me. I know what I want from someone like me. And what I want from someone like me is this. I just want them to hang out with me and talk. So I don't have to. So I can just listen. And I don't have to think any particular thing. And if you say things that I like, maybe I'll listen again. And if you say things I don't like, maybe I comment. But like with the Neebs guys, I tell you all the time, like I model what I'm doing after them very much. And like their podcast, I don't listen to multiple times because there's just not multiple listens in there, the hangout stuff, there's not anything to listen to multiple times. And so I got to thinking about it. Well, what do I have that's worth listening to multiple times? What have I noticed that I just fucking hate about other people who are doing anything remotely like what I'm doing? And it's not that their face isn't perfectly in frame, and it's not that they're polished and everything is perfect, and it's not even that guy, that Professor Ray, what was his name? Professor Sky. It wasn't even that he's rich that bothers me, or at least that he fronts, that he codes, that he wants you to believe that he's rich. That's not what bothered me. What bothered me is that I'm not allowed to go on a free-form rambling ramble without being told I don't know what I'm talking about or what I want to talk about, or that you don't know what I'm talking about. But he has 135,000 views, and he's even less coherent than I am. Not only is he incoherent, he's saying things that are just wrong and untrue, and telling you that he knows they're not true. And so it's the difference in telling you what you want to hear and telling you what you need to hear. Well, what you want versus what you need, right? What you want is keeping you from getting what you need. He is a progress stopper. I keep saying this. So I've been writing. Because what I didn't like is not that it was unscripted. It was that he hadn't thought it out. He hadn't said it to anyone else before. And so I've been talking and trying to practice effectively talking with Madge. Learn how Madge does what Madge does. Because he's the only person that I've come, Magic Shadow, he's the only person I've come across who's anywhere remotely like me in this regard. And For a while, he and I weren't doing the same sort of thing, but now we are. Now that he's on Hearthstone and he's trying to find a way to talk about proper orientation of your life, which is religion, and play Hearthstone and show that you can have religion and all aspects of your life can funnel toward righteousness. Because he's not really interested in goodness. He's interested in being right. And I'm not really interested in goodness either. Plato's the one, Plato's the good. Philosophy and early Christianity's obsession with the good and goodness, it's a dead end. If God is triune, he's good, evil, and neutral. You know my favorite parable, right? You know my favorite parable, the Chinese man. Maybe it's good, maybe it's not good. Maybe we don't know. We don't know how the story ends until the story's ended, and we don't often know that the story's ended. You know, your brain isn't designed to realize that you've died. It's designed in such a way to be able to come to the realization that you will die and that you are dying, but the approaching death, like, think about how abhorrent it is to us, just the thought that we might not fight cancer. Like, how abhorrent that was to people. And Breaking Bad, so abhorrent that the cancer stopped even being a relevant narrative device. They stopped even mentioning that he had cancer for like 3 full seasons of episodes. So I can get it. I can understand that I'm sort of an outlier, that your brain just hasn't evolved to understand. Your brain hasn't evolved to comprehend me, what I'm doing. You know, I think we've all heard people say that you give your life to God and then your life isn't yours anymore. But I don't think we really understand the death aspect. I came out here, not here, before I came down here, my first week homeless, before I tried. To make it work for myself when I was still relying on you all, really. There was a moment, who remembers what day it was, because it was before I was doing these blogs. It was when I thought I was giving up on you guys. I didn't even really, this is when I was doing the John at the McDonald's, and I was banging out hours and hours of it a day. I had given up. I gave up. I said, take me. Take me home. If what you want is me, either take me or do something with me. Because I can't figure out what to do with myself. And I'm not leaving a mess for somebody else to clean up. So either take me or do something with me. And God said, all right, I got you. But there are days where there's no compulsion. Like, I feel no compulsion to do any particular work today. I wrote this morning. I'm doing this. I'll do some more recording of Hearthstone. But there's a certain amount of the talking to the future gaming needs to generate views before it really makes sense for me to dive into. Because I'm not going to be able today's the last day of this season of Hearthstone, so everything I've done up to this point is going to be effectively reset, which is fine. But I'm not good enough. I'm not really good enough at that game, and I don't have the cards necessary to be interesting. So I think I'm going to experiment with having fun in my way with what Magic does. Because Magic is good enough. And if I'm playing and I'm asking you for money, as far as I'm concerned, that's money that isn't going to Magic's decks. And I'm more interested in building up what he's doing than I am trying to do that for myself. And not even out of any kind of non-compete clause that we may or may not have in our business relationship. And it is certainly a business as well as a personal relationship, which you're not supposed to do. But we had a business relationship, frankly, before I was willing to let him be a friend to me. But I think I find that more creatively stimulating. So I think that you can expect to see something like that soon. I want to do more commentaries. I want to do more commentaries, especially on books that you don't know that you're pretending to have read. Like I just read Carl Jung's Answers to Job, and almost every claim he makes in that book is wrong. Like he wants to make Lilith, Eve, the serpent, and the Shekinah the same characters. But that's impossible. They all have different names, and in the Hebrew, all of those names are different words with different meanings. They can't be the same character, in other words, because their names mean something. Their names are an invocation toward a something. Like Eve's name means life. Life. Lilith is Lil, the Lilitu, the female. She's a female divinity that represents sort of the sudden infant death syndrome of living at night in the desert. She represents sort of night, right? So Nyx, like how Nyx is her own goddess in the Greek. And something that I keep saying that I need to learn is Isaac Luria's Kabbalah. Mem is one of the names, one of the secret names of God, and one of the things that Mem is responsible for is the cold that creeps at night. Well, that cold also is damp, and it will kill you. It'll drop you dead. My problem isn't so much that I'm struggling with the cold, because I'm really not. My problem is that I'm struggling with being bored. Specifically bored of sleeping. And so that's not a real thing to complain about. Not at this stage of my life. And so what I've been thinking about is Well, stepping down my weed consumption, first of all, because I've been smoking a lot less in general, and I'm pretty sure that's where my mistakes were made. Is I got ready to go today, sober, and so I didn't take the time to get stoned, which means I didn't take the time to double, triple, quadruple check everything. I just it was so cold, and I was so bored, and my phone was dead, and so I did it all in the dark too, and that contributes. But I don't have a list yet. This. And so I realized, like, I think, like, my primary character trait is a hyper self-criticality. Just hyper self-critical. And so there's a certain amount of I ask you for slack that I won't give myself. There's a certain amount of I ask you to invest in me in a way that I refuse. And by that right, there's a certain amount of invest in me because I'm just not going to do it alone. I've been doing it alone. I don't feel artistically stimulated by these vlogs. I feel like they're necessary, but I also don't feel like this is the work well done. I still, and that's views. That's views. And so God is still working on me to work for free and to self-motivate and to follow my passions and my intuitions and to less worry about self-correcting because people are saying I'm wrong, but more what I've been saying this whole time, more be you. Observe you being you. Who are you even? Because I'm still very much a stranger to myself. When I read my writing, I don't feel the need to edit, to go back, to rearrange. No, I feel the need to add to it, like, I didn't know who this person was, and to engage that person in dialogue. And to explain that person. Oh, I understand that person. That he wrote that a year ago, and I've had time to understand him now. This is what he was feeling. You think he was feeling this. This is what he was feeling. And so I guess what that means is that I'm going to read a lot of my writing. I think that's where I'm at. I think we'll keep doing the John, and I want to get into the book of Job in a big way. But the audiobooks are difficult to argue with because I can't sound capture them. I can't record them. And yeah, I know this isn't going through my headphone for some reason. And I don't understand why. Can someone please help me with that? I don't understand why it automatically defaults to the speaker over here when I've got a headphone. I've got a speaker right here. I don't understand why. But then again, I also don't understand why there's not a camera here in the middle of the phone when it's lying in landscape so you get a good landscape image. I don't understand why it needs to be on its side like that. Because other people have stands, Vincent, that's why. Because other people have stands so they can put it up here where it's convenient. Well, other people also have homes and incomes that support them beyond working online. I did invest in this once. I had a studio quality setup. I had a computer. Nobody listened. So I invested in me and nobody came. I reinvested in me, nobody came. I money pitted myself. And nobody came. The lower fidelity that I do this at, the more mistakes I make in engaging with you. I got more views on a video where I accidentally showed off what my trash pile looks like than I have anything. Any one video. And I don't know what to do with that. I'm not saying that I don't know what to do with you. I'm saying I don't know how to follow that up. And I know the answer is just to continue being authentically me, and that's what today's homelessness vlog is about. I'm probably not going to get to fuck you got mine. It's just about being authentically me. Like, if you were to sit here on this bench with me, this is what we would have been talking about, is I don't really understand. This is why I'm talking to this, because I'd end up be talking with Madge about it. I don't understand. I'm not prepared as a human being emotionally or through my life experience to know how to follow up something even with a modicum of success. I'm the Steelers, which is not unironic. I'm actually wearing a Steelers tie-dye today. I don't know how to cope with my success. I don't know how to follow it up. But I don't have to, because this is an invitation to be a part of my life. And so it's an invitation to spend time with me while I do the things that I do. And what I wanted to do was come sit out here on this bench. And see, what I would do is I would be playing a video game. Just idly playing a game. Because I'm on vacation. That's what I realized today. I was sitting at Christ's table, and I was eating. And I thought to myself, you could get a job, because I miss my bass. I want to play my guitar. My bass guitar. And more than that, I want to get good in a way that I wouldn't let myself while I was with that last woman. But I'm kind of just deliberately enjoying a vacation. Because I talk to people. I talk to my friends that have jobs, well, a friend who has a job, and I listen to people talk about their jobs and how much they hate their job, dead end, and why they do their job. And I like my 10, is the thing. I even like knowing that the more trips I make back to that spot over time, the more likely I am to be asked to move. I even like knowing that the more trips I make in a day, the more likely I am that day to be asked to move. And you know what else I like? I like lying down in bed, lying down in my sleeping bag and wrapping myself up in my blanket and my jacket and getting myself all warm and cozy and comfortable, and knowing that I haven't been asked to leave yet. I can take, you don't understand. I can take pride and I can be joyous. Okay, well, I haven't made that mistake, and I'm not being asked to leave. When nowhere I've ever been in my life have I been able to do that. I've been waiting on my parents I waited on my parents. Literally, my mother told me, "You've got 10 days to get out of the house." And I said, "See ya, fucking wouldn't want to be ya." I was gone that day. I'm fucking out. Gone. Bye. No one, no human being, no one human being ever has said to me, "You are so valuable, I'm willing to make a minor change in my approach to you to keep you." Never. Well, now you have to. If you're going to stick around, you're going to view, you're going to watch me, you're going to have to. Not because I'm going to sit here and I'm going to change, but because 4 people watched me be homeless and say that it was fantastic and I love it. 4 people saw that and said, "That guy changed my opinion about what homeless people are like." No, I'm exceptional. I'm an outlier. Do not do not think that other people are like me. But I did approach your stereotype. But there's nothing wrong with stereotypes. That's something else I was thinking about. Well, my phone was off, and so I couldn't write it down because I didn't have any light. Is that the people who are most vocal about how harmful stereotyping is are also the people who know every character trope there is and love cliche in movies, television, and the performative arts. And so they do like stereotype because a stereotype is a Xerox. It's a copy, a carbon copy. And so if you're able to stereotype somebody, you're able to recognize effectively what they're emulating. And if you know who and what they're emulating, then you know where they're aiming themselves at. Because to emulate is to set yourself up as a rival or an equal to something else. I'm just like that person. And that's why I just hate rap. You want to be like that? Like you get into arguments with people who are like, Donald J. Trump is a terrible person because he's a rapist. He's a sexual assaulter. They'll say things like that, and then they'll listen to rap music. And it's like, you don't believe what you're saying. You don't believe that standard. Or you genuinely believe that white people are better and held to a higher standard than black people. So you're just racist. You're the problem. Okay, fine. You consume their music. You give them money out of bourgeoisie guilt. It's not a real emotion that you're feeling. It's not real. And so why is it my place to say anything? Of course it's fucking not my place to say anything. So why do I say anything? Because if I don't, what kind of a show is this? Like, if I don't, what kind of a Philalitea am I? If I don't, why did I give my life to God? Part of me knows that the sobriety is willing to be bored. Because really the only life skill that I learned while I was majority sober was how to meditate myself into a state of Zen, of non-being, how to just not think, not feel. So I might also be feeling the creep of a little bit of depression. You know, interest also wanes, right? So if the sun also rises, it does set, right? And so trying to remind myself. There's a certain amount of reminding myself that needs to happen. Why are you doing this? Who are you talking to? What's it about? Now that I've got myself a little bit ahead in my freeform work, and I've got myself working on Patreon again. And so I'm essaying on Patreon again. And so here's how I think it's going to go. I think that I'm going to put the Patreon is Shaggy Philalitea. You can find me just about everywhere under this handle. Everywhere but Discord, I think. I haven't gotten on Discord yet because I just don't want to. I don't feel compelled. Pay me money. As I keep saying, it's frankly, it's OnlyFans girl rules. If you want to get to know me, you're gonna have to send me a lot of money. Like if you want to get to know me in real time, like you want to text with me, if you want it personalized, You're going to have to make it in real time. I mean, you're going to have to make it worth my time. You're going to have to make it fiduciary, profitable for me. But I put up an essay on Patreon today, and here's how I think it's going to go. I think that I'm going to make my written word available to members. That is, everybody who is subscribed to the Patreon, even if it's free, gets access to my essays. And then I'm going to shoot video as I read them. And I'm going to put that on the Patreon for everyone who's paid. And then I'm going to take that video and I'm going to put it on YouTube for a week later. So basically you get to pay, you get to subscribe for the privilege to read it, you get to pay for the privilege to hear it, and that is early. Or you can wait the week until it goes up on YouTube. And I don't know what kind of assembly line I'm going to get into with that. I don't know how frequently it's going to come. But I think that's what I'm going to do, because I think that makes sense to me, and I think it's what I want to do, and I think that insofar as if I'm going to criticize people for being disorganized and not knowing what they're talking about and milking an hour-long video out of one thought they had on a whim because other people clicked into and they made a bunch of money from the thing that made them have that thought, if I'm responding to 4 subs and the way that other people respond to hundreds of thousands of views, first of all, I've got a problem. I need to know what I'm getting myself into, what I'm feeling. I need to be able to expect my responses to things so I can respond to them appropriately. But this is also why I have counsel with people. I hold counsel with people. And I ask them, how should I be responding to this? Because I know how to not respond at all. And not responding at all confuses women and men alike. But it definitely confuses women who want to be having sex with you, but aren't, because you're not responding to their cues, because you don't know which responses are inappropriate. I don't know. I'm feeling a lot of impulses to shut it down and turtle, to hide within myself. I'm embarrassing myself. I'm embarrassing myself in a lot of ways, but not in like a cringy, stop, but like you're obviously 9 in a 37-year-old's body, and that's only cringy to people. That's really only cringy, A, to cruel people, and B, to old people my age and older, who used to be like me. In that regard. Because I don't know that there are very many people like one of the librarians from this library was at Christ's Kitchen, or Christ's Table, doing outreach for the library, whatever she was doing. We talked about it. I saw her, and she saw me first, and she said my name, and I turned. I wasn't expecting to see her, and I wasn't expecting to hear my name. I was like, oh shit, they got you, and I small talked with her, whatever. That flirtatious kind of small talk that you do as a man with a woman, right? I'm pretty sure she's married, so it's really just a habit from working in the service industry so long. But then I wanted to sit down and eat, and I wanted to sit down in the back of the room because I don't like to sit in the front of the room where there are a lot of people, because I don't like to talk before I've eaten. And the woman that I met today, Shorty is what she wanted me to call her. She talk, and then I tell her I'm gonna go get another plate. I'll be right back. And she goes, oh, you don't have to come back if you don't want me talking to you like this. And I said, oh, Shorty, I don't care. I don't mind that you're talking to me. I'm just not talkative until I eat. And she goes, oh, just like my dad, blah, 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 right? But I'm just in that way, I'm just a country boy. I don't want to talk until I've eaten. Never have. I just never have. And maybe that's like the example from my father who was a soldier, or my grandfather who was in the Navy, or I saw it in a movie once. I don't know. Who knows? I don't know Kid Me very well. I don't have very many memories of him. And I think that stunts me in the same way that you having so many memories of what you were like as a kid. Because I don't think you remember what you were like as a kid very well. I don't know. But what I was thinking to myself is, like, if she were, let's say she was single and there's mutual interest there, but she wants me to get a job and be an earner and contribute. And I think about these things a lot. And it's like, I want this. Not just do I want to challenge myself to survive and to be able to do this, something that's actually very difficult. It is very difficult. But also, I don't have to put up with bullshit. I don't have clients telling me where to be. I don't have customers calling me ugly names. I don't have to deal with anybody else's stress. I don't have to empathize with anyone. And so it leaves me in a place where I don't know what my emotions even are, or what they should be. And I do prefer this. Like, I could, I guess. I could go get a job. I don't know who the fuck is going to hire somebody who hasn't showered in a month and has no prospects of doing so and within another. I don't know who would hire me. You'd have to be absolutely retarded. Or desperate, or get some kickback from the government for hiring me. And I don't know what work you think I want to do. I don't think you know what work. I don't even think you've given any thought to what work is available. Anyway, what I want costs $5 a day. On a bag of chips and a can of Mountain Dew. Some bread and maybe like some tuna. That's what I've been eating. I've been eating packs of tuna on big deli loaves of bread, and it's been just fine. Because food is a luxury. In fact, I was thinking about food liberty. I was thinking about financial freedom, and really the only difference in you and me, because you also have access to free food in the same way that I have access to Christ's table. Like, it's not my story to tell, but Shorty was telling me that she's been eating at Christ's table regularly since 1993. So it's not like these resources aren't available and haven't been available to you. No, you spend the money that you do on food because it's a luxury item, and it proves to you that that job was worth it. But was it? Are Lay's really so much better than the dollar chips that I'm getting? If all I really want is to eat in one sitting a 6-ounce bag of potato chips? Is paying 5 times as much for Lay's really 5 times the quality? Fuck no. Fuck no. You pay for the brand recognition. You don't pay because you recognize the brand. You pay to be recognized with the brand. And now that you're getting all of your food through DoorDash and Instacart, you don't even go to the restaurant anymore. You don't go to the grocery store anymore. What prestige are you getting? That's what I want to know. And yeah, I have this absolute incredulity around this. What prestige are you getting? Who fucking cares? Like, other than sexual selection. That's all I can figure. All I can figure is that the only thing that getting a job really does is open me up to women approaching me for sex again. But why do I want that? I keep being confused as to why women think I want that. It made sense why I wanted that in the 80s and before. But internet porn is so free and so much easier. I'm not even saying that I partake in internet porn. I'm saying I've got options. Dudes are easier. I've been offered sex by 2 different dudes since I've been homeless. Dudes don't give a fuck if my balls stink. Dudes like it when your balls stink. And so I just wonder why women think, and maybe they remain, but why they remain a market commodity at 450 pounds. I don't get it. Now, I get it 10,000 years ago. If you had the resources necessary to get your girl to 450 pounds, you were a status symbol in your own right. And anyway, who's going to steal her? Literally steal her. Who's going to put her on the back of a horse and ride her away? Nobody. Exactly nobody. But doing it to yourself? I don't know. These are the things I've been thinking about. I'm on vacation. From status symbols and unnecessary bullshit. You know what's not necessary? Car. Gotten by without one my whole life. Made pretty good money too. I would have made more money if I had a car. Everywhere I work made that clear. Oh, we'd pay you a hell of a lot more money if you could work at another store too. No, fuck you. That's why I'm not willing to get a car. Is your dumb ass that's gonna want to have me working 60 to 90 hours a week at 3 different stores in your district because you're just fucking stupid enough to pay me 20 to 40 hours of overtime a week to do it. And you're just savvy enough to think that each one of those stores is going to clock individual hours and that 30 or 20 to 40 of those hours aren't going to be overtime. Well, fuck you. I'm not doing it. I'm not stupid. I'm not stupid. And see, I think there's a lot of that. I think there's a lot of people who are upset with me and refusing me the likes, subs, these things that I really do need in order to find the kind of generosity, the giving spirit that, you know, churches get out of people. I think if I'm going to find that, there's a certain amount of self-correction on your end, not self-correcting so that you will give me money. That's not what I mean. I mean, when I say and do things that make you feel stupid, self-correcting. You know, we in English can think in past tense and in future tense. And so if you have done something stupid, what you can do is self-correct and not do it again. Adjust for your mistakes, in other words. And this is why I'm so hyper self-critical. I don't like making mistakes. Ever. But I forgot my belt today and my pants haven't fallen off. I'm wearing the wrong socks and my feet aren't all sweaty and gross. I almost walked out without my glasses. But I walked off without my scarves, and really the only thing I've got is a slightly cold neck, and I look less like a fancy boy. Well, if the fancy boy scarves are what's chasing people away from thinking that I'm a good person, or if people think that I'm like some highfalutin dickhead just because my clothes aren't dirty and I don't smell bad, Well, I can start smoking cigarettes again instead of vaping, and I can start smoking shorties and joints instead of vaping. I can smell like what I am, because what's it fucking matter? Ultimately, what's it matter? I'm not getting laid now. And if everything I do, if everything that a man does is aimed at getting laid, what's the real point? What's the real point? When it was aimed at having a wife and children, and then being able to provide those children with a leg up, not compared to other children, compared to you, what you had, if it's not that, what's the point? I'm genuinely asking. I really want to know the answer. What's the point? Not for me. Why do you live the way you do? What's the point? I want to know. I don't understand. And I fear for you. I feel bad for you. I have an empathy for you that you don't know exists. You don't actually have real empathy. But like, I imagine myself in your shoes, being the way you are, being overweight, chasing after Joneses who don't do the things that you're chasing after them. Blindly imitating people who will never notice you for their attention. And I feel bad for you. I call you stupid not because I think you're unintelligent, but because I think you're a cutter. You're the kind of person who walks through bramble bushes when you could go around. I've done that. It hurts. Don't do that. I did it on Mike. Final Fantasy 3, I think I did that. I turned around and I was paying attention to the game instead of where I was walking. I walked right into a bramble. Got a bramble right in my urethra. Right in the head of my dick. And I'm stuck there because any way I move it, it's gonna hurt like a son of a bitch. And it did. And that's a metaphor. It's a perfect analogy. Perfect analogy. And I feel bad for you because I've done stupid shit. And I know how embarrassing it is to catch yourself realizing that you've done something very stupid. Not just very stupid, but very dangerous. I don't understand why people need to walk so close to me. I just don't understand it. Like, they go out of their way. They know, like, if I'm on a phone call, they know I'm doing this. I don't understand. It's every day. This is why I do this in private, not in public. Because people act completely stupid about it. Act completely stupid. And it is in your disinterest. It is in your disinterest. It is against your best interest. It is stupid to be rude. Because you do know better. You know better, and you know that people are going to think less about you. And so this insistence that, well, they're not going to ever see me again. I'm never going to run across them. What do I care? It's dumb. You don't know what people are saying about you. You don't know. I know that people talk about me. You know how I know people talk about me? Women that I'd never seen before in the library knew my name. So they had to have been talking about me. So you don't know. You don't know what people are saying about you. You most certainly don't know what people are thinking about you. Like, I was watching a woman struggle with her kids in the Dollar Tree ahead of me the other day. And she didn't know what I was thinking. I was staring at the back wall, pretending like I wasn't even in that building because I was not helping. And she kept looking at me like, fucking help me. And I'm like, no. I did not put those children in you. I did not misevaluate your preparedness and your temperament, your temperamental fitness to be a mother. I did not make that mistake, and I will not fix it for him. Because I do not want sex as a reward from you. And what are you going to give me? You're going to give me $5 for babysit? Fuck off. No. None of that. No. But I don't think women really understand. This kid is going to destroy that statue on purpose, and she's going to let him stop. Just because it's loose doesn't mean you need to destroy it. That means that a lot of people have done what you've done. And their mothers all said, fucking quit it, dude. She's just going to let him. No, she's not going to discourage him at all. And that's what I'm talking about. You don't know what people are thinking of you. And so next time I see that woman, in fact, the next day I heard another kid screaming and yelling and losing her fucking mind in the parking lot because she didn't want to go home. And my thought was, Jesus Christ, did that woman bring this kid back here? What I was thinking is she needed to slap that kid right across the face. Right there, she told her she was going to. And then she did the countdown from 3 thing. And then didn't follow through. I'm going to slap you right here in front of everybody. I'm going to slap the shit out of you right here if you scream again. And the kid just scream. Okay, well, 3, 2, 1, impotent. And so the kid doesn't learn. The kid doesn't have to respect you because you don't respect you. And you don't respect the environment. You don't respect the people in the environment. There's a reason that parents used to savagely beat their kids for that behavior. And it's because you need to be savagely beaten if you make it to adulthood without correcting that behavior. Because that behavior continues. It continues. They learn that there's nothing doing. And the school can't do anything about it, so the kid just never learns. This is why communities used to take it into their own power to raise children. This is why in the 80s even, my dad used to talk about it, that if they acted up around strange adults when they were without their parents, those strange adults were going to actually beat them. Grab a hold of them and hit them. Because you need to learn. And we say today, well, it's not okay to hit children. It's not okay to hit someone less powerful than you because it teaches them to be afraid. And they're absolutely right. Don't hit a child for minor infractions. But when you're mad and that child is doing things intentionally to make you mad and you say, if you don't fucking quit it, I'm going to hit you, and they do it again, you hit them. Why? Because an adult will. An adult will do more than hit them. Most of the violence that escalates in our world is because of somebody who was raised without the fear of God. Somebody who was raised without the fear of retribution. Well, they can just escalate, and then a cop has to murder them in public. And this is real. This is real. And these are the things I've been thinking about as I've been homeless. I've been thinking about how I have a reputation for goodness in town, so if you wanted a proof of concept that all of the things I preach to you, smile, say please, say thank you, it all works. People have started coming out of the woodwork of my life to check up on me from 10 years in my past. They give you a little bit of money and you spend it to make them feel good about, buying you a coffee and a bagel. It was good too. Dunkin's breakfast is really good. They don't give enough. That's not enough potatoes for $1.60 though. Six little hash brown discs is not enough potato for $1.60. But very tasty. Not filling. Breakfast is never filling. I don't know why. It's probably there's not much fat, not much satiety. And the bread product is always a small bread product. But also, when you don't want a huge, heavy breakfast unless you're going to be out working. Because what happened is I ate that, and then I went to church, and I had a donut, and I almost fell asleep right there in the pew because I had just enough calories to be comfortable. And then also, I just had a nice sleepy day yesterday. Just kind of fuck you. I sat around in the sun all day, and it was amazing. And I'm sitting around in the sun all day today, and it's amazing. And I'm going to keep doing that. I'm just going to keep sitting around in the sun because what is it? What does it really do in me to sit inside and read scripture? What did I get from reading Mothman Prophecies? What have I even generated a single comment or like reading the book of John? What did I really get with the hate reads with Jane Roberts? I got one follower who doesn't watch my other stuff. What did I really get? And so there's a way that I can look at my life and that I have been looking at my life. And I've been saying, okay, well, what did I get for X? What did I get for Y? What did I get for Z? And the answer is homeless. Like, in a real way. Well, what did I get for all those years of working customer service like a boss? Homeless. What did I get for all those women that I did everything I could to love like a storybook? Homeless. What did I get for all that money I spent on nice clothes? Homeless. Right? What did I get for all that macrame, learning how to do macrame to the skill level that I get? Homeless. What did I get for learning how to read and how to write? Homeless. Ask any, what did I get? Homeless. I got homeless. That's what I got. I got homeless. And you could be bitter about it and you could be mad, but I love this. So my life has led up to the one thing that I love. Everything that I've hated has brought me here. And so Job's wrong. Job's just wrong. But I do know that I'm less inclined to share my joy if I'm sober. Let's just be real about this for a moment. I'm less inclined to share my joy if I'm not smoking weed. I don't drink. I know that about myself because I am sober. I'm out of nicotine vapes. I got cigarettes a couple of days ago. I think I told you that. But my THC, when it's out, THC is expensive. But I have a feeling that if I were to say, hey, you think you could spot a brother $10, or do you think you could help a guy find his way to $50 so I can go flirt with the girl at the head shop and buy some weed? I think you and I both know that actually having grass and actually having nicotine, tobacco, that actually makes me interesting. I know I have known dozens of women who were just happy to have a guy who could score weed. He didn't even need a job. He didn't even need good dick. He could just score weed. It's hard to orient yourself towards your wants when you still don't know what you want. What I want is a hot meal. Check. Every day but Saturday and Sunday. I want to exercise my body. Check. Every day I get to get out and be in the sun and hike around. I want to be warm and comfortable at night. Check. I have everything that I need. In fact, I'm so warm and so comfortable at night that I wake up thinking, it's not that cold. It must be approaching 6 a.m. Oh, it's 2 a.m. The coldest part of the night. I don't know what I want, and I can't think of anything that I want badly enough to change my life and my approach to life, to make me want a home. A woman? I've had a wife. I don't need another woman badly enough to want to make all of the compromises to this, my life, the way I live, necessary to keep her or to attract her in the first place, because it's just a whole stupid game. She's got nice legs. Sorry, I'm gonna look. I mean, I'm not sorry. I'm sorry I'm looking away from the camera, so you might not be able to hear me, but I don't know. I can't figure out which of society's sticks and carrots, or combined stick and carrot with a string, will get me to respond. I don't know that I like carrots that well. I'm like, hey, here's a carrot, and I'm like, my parents beat me so much, I'm not afraid of the stick. I mean, you can hit me all you want. I don't feel despair, and I don't feel sorrow anymore. Those have dominated my emotional state since 3rd grade. Sorrow and despair and hopelessness. And no, I know what tomorrow's going to bring. Tomorrow's going to bring hot food. It's going to bring exercise. It's going to bring a pleasant interaction on the bus. It's going to bring creative time where I get to write an essay and record and spend time with whoever you are. I don't know, but we're only 11 away from being able to go live. So I don't know what I lack. I lack followers, but I don't know how to get there. I don't know. I guess that's where this ultimately goes. I should have been done with this 12 minutes ago, but I don't know. I'm just a compulsive teller of the truth who's going to sit down and tell you the truth once a day, minimum. Probably except on Sundays and Saturdays. And then I'll find a way. Even if what I have to do is figure out how I can put my essay audio to Let's Play video. But I don't think I can do that with my equipment. I don't think I want to work that hard. In fact, I know I don't want to work that hard because you don't pay me enough to be anything but lazy. I don't think you realize that. I think that ultimately is why I get so triggered and mad. Is that it's like I told that woman at lunch today. Now that I've eaten, I feel like I need to get up and do something. I feel like I need to get up and be somewhere. And so sitting here and bullshitting with you, it's nice. It's been pleasant. I like you, Miss Shorty. But now that I've eaten, I want to do something. I want to work. I want to get out. I want to work on something. And now that I've worked on something for a few hours, I want to get my dick sucked and I want to go to bed. Maybe have another meal to eat, maybe a Mountain Dew, maybe get a little stoned and sit around and do nothing. Everybody else is allowed to want these things. Why are they gate-kept behind status? They didn't used to be. So why are they now? I know the answer, but do you? And do you want to have a talk about it? Because if you want to talk about it, we can talk about it. But I don't know what you want to talk about. I don't know what you even want to hear me talk about. All I know is that every time I come up across something that I've been lied to, that's what I'm going to talk about. And so it really just means I got to read Job for you. And I got to explain to you how the book of Job is a Platonic dialogue. Straight up. But until John or these homelessness vlogs are getting likes and comments and my subs start to improve every day, I don't feel any urgency about it. That's what it is. I want to feel a sense of urgency. But I don't feel urgent. That's what I don't feel. I feel like the winter is coming. And if you really cared about whether or not I freeze to death, you would have a sense of urgency. And so long as I'm the only person who cares about my well-being, I'm going to put my well-being in God's hands. Because like I told God, I can absorb any amount of sorrow. I can endure any amount of pain. But I can't be asked to provide for myself anymore. So I sold all my shit and I bought a tent and a sleeping bag and a mat. And I have looked to other people to provide for me. Provide me food, provide me the ground on which to set up my tent. To provide me electricity and Wi-Fi. And maybe, just maybe, provide me a little bit of that adulation that every parent is supposed to give their child until they're about 9 years old. I'm not asking anybody to be my mom, but just a little bit of that. Hey, good show. Hey, good pod. I didn't get to watch all of it, but hey, I was really enjoying what you were saying. I'm coming back. Just something. I don't think you really appreciate how far that would go, because I think if you did appreciate how far that would go, you wouldn't withhold it from me. Like, I don't even know why you click away. You gotta tell people, look, this can be between you and me, but you gotta tell creators when you're clicking away. It seems like the rudest thing possible. I clicked away at this because of this. But they need to know. That's all they want to know from you. Most creators don't even want to know that you liked it. I don't necessarily want to know that you liked it. I want to know whether you like what I'm doing. I don't even really care if you like me. I want to know whether you like my approach. And if you don't, how I can fix it, and where you don't like it. Because something that you don't understand is that not all critique is the same. Not every viewer and consumer is the same, and qualifications to critique or consume, frankly. But every consumer is right about what's wrong. Why? Because if it was wrong, they stopped consuming, or they were unwilling to consume more again. And so they're right about what's wrong, but they're always wrong about how to fix it. There's no relying on your audience to actually tell you how to fix your material. You have to fix it yourself, for you, in the way that you like, and compromise with your audience, because then your audience is going to know that you're working for them, not you're working for them. But you're not only working for them to get their money. You're working to be authentically you. There you go. That's how you can learn from what I've been dealing with the last few days in homelessness. There's the algorithm. At the beginning of these, I need to say, stay tuned while I figure out what lesson I'm trying to leave you with. Because I have lessons, I have learned things in my day. I just don't always know what the lesson to take away is for you, because I don't have you here with me. Go live with me, all right? Find me 10, it'll actually be 11, but find me 10 more followers and we can go live. What do you think about that? That'd be pretty fun, right? Or hey, I'm shadow banned on Twitter again, so follow me on Twitter. Still Shaggy Philalitea, and I can go live there. Really, I just want you to help me find $5 a day. It shouldn't be that hard. Other people make $5 a day, and they're just awful at everything. I'm not awful at anything. Well, not everything. Come on, I'm pretty good. Like, I don't stink. It's been 29 days. It's been 29 days and I smell like fresh laundry. Come on! Come on! There's got to be something saying in that, right? Alright, whatever. Take care of yourselves, guys. I've gone for 20 minutes longer than I wanted to, but I haven't gone for a few days, so... Here's hoping this is legible, that you can actually hear it. You know what I say at the end of these. Take care of yourselves first. That's what matters to me, that you're good, that you're healthy. I told that to my sister, and she thought that what I meant was that I wanted her to move me into her apartment. No. I told that to my sister, and what she thought I meant was that I wanted her to take out all these loans and put herself in debt. No. I want you to take care of the minimal requirements for you to be okay. And then, like Julie said to me, when the spirit to give comes upon you, give. Even if it's $1. If you're just like, man, I'm really grateful for what I have today. I can spare $1. Hit up a guy's Cash App. I know it works. Shaggy Philaliteia, same name. Help me out. Help me meet a girl, huh? What about that? How about that, ladies? Help me meet a girl. Help me meet a girl who understands me so I can quit bitching about being lonely. If I can quit bitching about being lonely, maybe I become likable again. I don't know. Who knows? Not me. I've never been likable. What am I saying? Become likable again. That's a truth that I didn't even mean to confront. I've only ever been likable when I've had girlfriends, and that's just because people around me get to see what my girlfriend likes about me. So yeah, help me be likable again. If I've got a girlfriend, or at least a girl who's got a crush on me, I'm at least likable. Alright, take care of yourselves. I don't even know. I do know that I do not understand even my own short material. I do not understand what hits and what doesn't, why it hits, why it doesn't. But I am grateful for you guys. The 39 of you, the 4 of you that are newest. I'm not more grateful than any of the 36 before, but I am grateful to have all of you in a way that I just absolutely was not even 2 weeks ago.